Switchers.
Everybody, listen to me. I'm gonna tell you how it's supposed to be. I'm gonna be a free man. I'm gonna fight until the end. I'm gonna find the answers here. I'm gonna make it all quite clear.
Yeah! Welcome to the Chris and Mike Show. He's Mike, I'm Chris, and a portion of the show is brought to you by Riverside FM, the one and only choice for your podcasting platforms. Remember, we're live on Twitch, YouTube, and chrisandmikeshow.com. That's just chrisandmikeshow.com. You can join us there right now, along with all you other 100 countries, and you can check out Nehemiah, who is our guest. Going to be a fantastic conversation. Nehemiah, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Nehemiah.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be talking to you guys today.
We're happy to have you, man.
Absolutely. So, give us a little bit. We're going on an elevator ride from the first floor to the 30th. Why are you here? What are you all about? And why did you want to come grace us with your presence? Which we're not complaining because we love people gracing us with their presence.
I'm here basically, just a little bit about me. I moved from my hometown in Maryland about a year or so ago to New York to start a band. The band is Exotic Vision. And I just released my first EP, Minnesota, which holds the lead single, the original song "I Left My Heart in Minnesota," and two classic rock covers. One "Painted Black" by the Stones, and
Ooh.
It's a very good version, too. Anybody that wants to hear it, go to Instagram, TikTok, wherever he's got it posted. It is a badass version of that song. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. And then another classic rock cover, "Proud Mary." So,
I listened to that one. He kills it, dude. He kills it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And listen, man, anybody that knows me, I love CCR. Like, you better have your shit together. And I know they didn't write it the first time.
It was Ike and Tina Turner, right?
Yeah.
Is that just
CCR's version of Proud Mary is my jam, right? That's what I'm comparing you to. You killed it, man. Great version.
Thank you.
So what are because again, this is me. I don't dive into backgrounds and stuff. So on Instagram, what are you? What's your handle?
Triple L, Nehemiah, Triple L. So basically LLL, then my name Nehemiah, spelled NEHEMIAH, Triple L again. And you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. I post on all the things.
Cool. I found you. The reason why I did this is because while we talk and have a conversation, I share. So I'm sharing your stuff because that's what I do, right? That's you. There you go.
Yes,
correct?
That's me.
There you go.
Yeah, that's me.
There's the song Minnesota. How come you don't have a Minnesota accent? He's singing with a Minnesota accent when you sing the song. Just want to know. No? Okay, which one? So I'm going to click on something. I'm going to click on something. Where's the volume? Damn, I hate when it does that.
Narrow streets of cobblestone.
This is a little live track.
Yeah.
More than a street lamp. I turn my power to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light, it's split the night. You gotta love Sound of Silence, man. That's that's a song right there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I love the tone of your voice, man.
Yeah,
it's outstanding.
Thank you.
Natural.
Thank you.
It's kind of an effortless tone, just like a natural. You're not forcing. You can tell us fuck off, man. You don't gotta keep saying thank you. You're like, shut up, guys. Shut up. Stop it. I don't like compliments. What's wrong with you? Where's the? Now I'm intrigued, man. Where's the?
Don't mind him.
Yeah, don't mind me, dude. I'm just a goofball.
You're looking for the song?
Song. Go back up. Oh, you're on Apple too? It's iMusic? Right on.
Yeah.
Can I get your all three of your songs you have on Apple Tunes? on Apple
Yes,
Music?
everything's streaming. Yes.
Nice, man.
Cool. So I can. Okay, that's all I need to know. Because now just the singles, right? You don't have an EP out or anything yet. You just got the singles going.
Well, those 3 songs are in a EP together.
Oh, perfect. Okay,
Very nice.
that's what to verify. So there you go. There it is. I Left My Heart in Minnesota, Nehemiah. So the 3 songs are I Left My Heart in Minnesota, right?
Yes.
And then Painted Black.
Yes.
And then what was the third one?
Proud Mary.
Proud Mary. That's right. Oh, Proud
Yeah.
Mary. Yeah, because I like how Tina Turner does that Proud Mary, man. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear you do
Yeah.
that.
And
Tina Turner was bomb.
it might be on the streaming services. I think on Apple Music it's still like the artist name is Nehemiah of Exotic Vision, and Spotify is Exotic Vision. It's all switching over to the band name, but it's those things.
So obviously you have the band put together now. Who are the other members of your band? How many people?
Well, it's just the 2 of us right now. It's hard to find young guys who want to do the thing. So that's what we're
Tell me
trying to do.
about it, man.
Yeah.
That's how I met this guy.
Yeah. Well, and we met by accident. We've told the story 1,000 times. We were at a concert and I was singing along to the lead singer of the band, and he kept looking back at me. And long version of a short story, a thing glitched in the Matrix on the stage, and he turned around and gave me a business card. Said, "Are you a singer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And that was it.
My drummer and I had just split with a guy that we had been with for a while, wrote a bunch of songs, played one gig. He wasn't going to cut it. We were desperate, man. And fate just has a way of finding you. The universe knows what you need when you need it, you know?
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. And that's the great thing about concerts. They bring people together.
Like-minded, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So give us a little history of who you are and how long you've been doing this, and, just what got you into music, what got you into taking this, because you went from you started in Minnesota, and you moved to New York.
No, he suckered me into it with the song.
Oh, that's right.
He's
okay.
from Maryland,
Yeah.
he said.
I'm from Maryland.
Okay.
So
And you
not
went to
quite
New
as
York.
far.
Okay. But you went to New York purposefully to go fulfill your dream, right? To chase your dream and what you want to be. Okay.
Exactly.
Which is no different than Mike going to the West Coast to fulfill his dream.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So that's a big leap of faith in yourself, and that takes a lot of cojones. So we totally respect that.
Thank you.
But give us an idea of what where you got to this point where you just said, you know what, I got to go to New York, man. I got to get out there and just go do it.
Basically, I've always been in front of people. I used to speak in church. I used to be one of those little preachers. I used to talk in church all the time, sing in church and stuff. So I always had, a voice, and I always had this this want for, to go into entertainment. But I thought I was going to go more on the acting side when I was younger. But then I discovered rock and roll, and the first rock star that I discovered was Steven Tyler of Aerosmith.
Nice.
And the first time I heard him sing "Dream On," it just blew my world open.
Thank you. The first time I heard him sing, hold on, Mike. The first time I heard, I didn't really heard of Aerosmith, and I went to a concert years and years and years ago, Summer's Last Blast in Arizona, which was Scorpions headlined. Okay, Aerosmith was on their comeback tour. They just got through all their chaos. And the only thing I remembered about that concert, because when the Scorpions came out, it was just like the video, dude, there's just so stale. Steven Tyler, and I'm standing in the very back of this thing. I mean, the stage is this small to me, right? And I don't know who, again, ignorant, don't know who Aerosmith is, junior high. Steven Tyler steps to the mic. I want you all to close your eyes and dream on. The entire crowd lost their shit. Lighters went in the air, and then he started singing, and I just stood oh my God. This is the greatest song ever.
It is.
That was my intro to Aerosmith. So I feel you there, man. I feel you 100%.
Yeah. The first video I watched of him was the one where he sung it on American Idol when he was a judge. And then the YouTube wormhole just it was after Aerosmith, it was Kiss and Journey, Fleetwood Mac, and I just got exposed. I literally spent my entire high school career just consuming so much live music and stuff. And then I thinking about it, and I was well, I used to sing, so I just got back into singing. Then I was well, how do I become Steven Tyler? Well, he's in a band, so I need to find a band, and what's the best way to do that? Go to the place where all the great bands come through. So that's what led me to New York.
There you go. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I had to capture the minute.
No, that was a great story, dude. I'm not sure I've heard that story.
You mean shocking?
It is shocking. How old are you?
I'm 22.
There's
Nice.
very few people your age getting into rock and roll, man. So
Yes.
you're a breath of fresh air, and I know people are screaming right now, we're all into rock and roll, dude. I get it. It's so refreshing to see somebody actually out there doing it like him and I did, right? Where we had a dream, we were your age, you're living the exact same moment in time we did 35 years later, right? It's just cool that there's people out there that have the same passion that Chris just told for that story. I've seen Aerosmith myself, man. When you see that song presented the way it was supposed to be, the way he heard it in his head live at that moment in time, and to hear that speech, I didn't get the speech, right? Because that, like he said, that was their comeback tour. They were ready to kick people's ass again. It's just such a religious experience to hear him do that live. It just is.
Right.
Well, and then fast forward, I saw their 5 years ago when they came back. They finally came back on the road after his tenure with American Idol. They started in Phoenix, and I still had my radio show. So I was actually up in the iHeart suite, looking down, and literally looking. I mean, it's like I could run and jump out of the suite and fall on the piano, which I didn't do. But he hit that thing like nobody's business. Like, I mean, he nailed it. That entire concert of that night with them, as far as flawlessness, that ranked right up there when I saw Queensryche in their heyday of building empires, where you couldn't find a mistake in the show.
Nope.
That's how tight Aerosmith was. That's how pure his voice was. And of course, now he's aged out 5 years and has the struggles, which, I mean, give me a break. He's getting older. It happens. But that was just as perfect as it could have been from when I saw him in 1989 perform it. And then which blows my mind, because the damage that he did to himself with the drugs and the alcohol and the booze and the smoke and all that kind of stuff,
It
to still
never
be able
killed
to
his
sing.
voice. Yeah.
Right. To still be able to sing the way he sings is just phenomenal.
But Steven Tyler has that quality just like Nehemiah. Nehemiah has a natural, you do too. As a singer, you have to have, that's what your character becomes, right? When you say the name Steven Tyler, the three of us being fans of rock and roll, you hear that voice in your head. You see that face, right?
Yeah.
Right.
He's a character. Chris was a character. You're going to become a character. If you don't, you're not going to be a successful singer, right? People have to put that voice with Nehemiah's name, and you're going to do that. But you know that that's your ultimate goal, is to draw people into your world for just a little while, right? That's your job as a frontman.
Right.
Yep. Got to get there. Got to get there. We're the door, man. That's Mike and I talk about all the time when we have bands on that people forget that the singers, we're the door, we're the gateway. If you can't get past us, you're not getting to the band. And so it's the pressure's on us, man.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to a Yanni concert, you're going to expect that there's going to be a singer, you know?
Yeah. Or Kenny G, man. What about Kenny G, dude?
Kenny G. Another. I've actually been to a Kenny G concert in Sun City.
So not surprising.
Yeah.
Mike looks at everybody.
I steal ideas from everyone as a guitar player, and saxophone players are the most fun because they do the same kind of runs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What are you in iTunes again, Nehemiah?
Yeah, it should be on iTunes too, but it's on Spotify, Apple Music, all the big platforms.
He's asking what's it under.
I'm asking, what do you? Yeah.
Like,
what's
what's
it
it
under?
type in?
Oh, just type in "I left my heart in Minnesota" and it should come up, and you should see like the planet and the guitar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I changed my tune. Everybody go to Apple Music and buy his EP.
Oh, I got to do it on I won't let me do it on my computer, I don't think. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Open. Don't start playing music. Start playing because it's okay. Don't start playing music because all of a sudden you're gonna start hearing Whiskey Myers if that happens. That's my last one thing I bought.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
You keep talking. I'm just looking for his things so I can share it. You guys keep talking.
So do you play an instrument or are you just singing? Because I see a keyboard behind you.
I'm just a singer, and I write lyrics. Like I wrote the lyrics to "I Left My Heart in Minnesota." I wish I played an instrument. It'd make my life a million times easier. But
Chris
no,
would
I just
sympathize with you for sure. He,
I just
he
sing.
wrote the lyrics and the melody, but you know you need the music behind it to make that happen.
Right,
So
right.
I
But
get it.
that's the thing about, getting a band, like Elton John and Bernie Taupin, they're not a band, but you know where I'm going.
Yep.
Uh, it's yin and yang,
Yeah. Yeah. For
And
sure.
I wonder that, man. If you weren't with your guitar player, would you write the same kind of songs? If Chris and I weren't sitting in the same room together, would he have written the same
Nope.
melody? Or there you go. He's answering the question right away.
Right.
Absolutely not, because it's the dynamic. It's being in that space, right? It's the muse. It's feeding off each other's
Right.
energy. It's feeding off the creativity, and because it's infectious, right? I mean, that sounds cliche.
And
Yeah,
everybody
completely.
hears music differently, so hears music and
That.
creates their expression
That.
is so different.
That right there, because when I met Mike, they already had lyrics to a bunch of the songs that when I came in, when that singer left and I came in and took over, I wasn't singing his lyrics because personally I thought they were stupid. But I took over and then rewrote the songs, and then that gave me more street cred because holy shit, I write songs that have me. Like people ask us, often if we would have broke when we were heading to break, who would we have sounded like? And I just say we were Creed. We were Creed before Creed was Creed, because that's how I wrote. I wrote about life and I wrote about different things, and it wasn't all about getting laid and getting drunk and go finding chicks. It was different things. It was ideology. The first song on the podcast you heard was us. It was a song called Free Man. The last song, when we wrap up the show, is Listen to Your Sin. And so these are songs that are still relevant today, which is pretty cool because of what they talk about. We were timeless in that,
Right. And
So I agree with you 100%. You have to have that.
right, and that's what I'm going for in my career is I want to, if the lyrics to Minnesota, I've been getting tired of this life that I've been leading. All I thought about is when I would be leaving. Like that was real to me as I was in my hometown trying to get to New York, trying to, create a better life for myself and my family. Like I want to create music that speaks to people on more than just, get up and dance level, but that really touches their soul,
Thank you.
and it stays with them as they grow old, and then as they grow old, the song takes on a different meaning.
Yes.
For sure.
I love you,
That's a
Nehemiah.
great point. Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking the same thing as I'm listening to him say that.
But it's true. Everybody nowadays is so one hit wonder. Just let me get this out. Let me get all this electronic mumbo jumbo. Let me auto tune the hell out of everything. I can't really sing, but let me just put all this together and then blast it out there and million downloads and I make 10 grand and then I go on tour for 4 years. It's just one song and you can't duplicate it live and it just sucks. Be
Right.
real, man. In a world of music, you need to be real. You need to be raw. You need to be able to go. I mean, as much as I hate David Lee Roth right now, at least he's not going out there and faking it. I still hate him right now because he sounds terrible. It's
But
like a
he could
dying
be
cat.
playing to a backing track. You're making a good point.
Correct. So, I mean, he's staying true to who he is, even though he's not listening to everybody telling him to stop. Same with the Scorpions. Like, just stop, man. Like, don't tarnish your legacy. It's time to go away. Triumph came back out, right? You know Triumph, Mike.
Go.
This is a band from the 80s. Nehemiah's a three-piece band from Canada. Really good band. They're not as big as Rush, but kind of in the Canadian world.
One of the best guitar players to
Yes.
ever grace the instrument. His name's Rick Emmett. Just
Yeah.
outstanding.
Fantastic. But all their promos for their concert tour, it's all studio track. When you see their little commercials and stuff on Instagram and Facebook trying to get you into them, to come see their show, it's all studio track, which tells you what? He can't fucking do it live. So don't go do it live, man. Don't tarnish your legacy. Please.
Agree. I'm
But they don't-
not going to
they
argue
don't
that
ask
point
us.
at all.
Yeah. But so I have Nehemiah's single up, his little three, what do you call it? 3-album EP. I don't know how to say that, but Nehemiah of Exotic Vision. It's on the Apple Music app. There's just 3 songs.
You're not
So
signed
when
to
we-
a label, are you?
No, that's the goal though. I'm trying to get a record deal so I
Do you
can.
care if he plays some of this?
No, of course not. I want to play it until the cows come home, as they would say.
It'll do that thing where it'll give me the preview because I haven't bought it yet. But let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get out of here.
It in those cheers. There was no time alone to wipe away the tears. I left my heart in Minnesota. and I sold it to the rollers who kept rolling me down the road. Who kept rolling me down the road. Like time, ain't wasting no one. In the end, no one knows where it goes. I never meant for fame to be my home. I wish for more time, and you'd never be alone. I left my heart in Minnesota.
I like it.
I do too, man.
I
Thank
like
you.
it. And then of course it does that stupid crap.
Where did
Oh,
you
gotta
record
pay
that
for
at,
this.
Nehemiah?
I recorded it at a studio, Virtue and Vice, here in New York.
Okay. Now, is that one of those studios where you basically go in there and then you have like musicians there, where you go lay down your track?
The guy who produced this record, Senator
Okay.
O'Brien,
Okay.
he made music back in the early 2000s. He actually had a record that was I don't know if it was co-produced or produced by Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
But he basically put everything together. He brought the engineer in, the guy that played all the instruments, and
Okay.
Virtue and Vice was a really nice studio. I think like Cigarettes After Sex had recorded there. John Legend had
Okay.
done some stuff there. So
Nice.
yeah, very nice studio.
Yeah, because the sound quality is really cool.
Yeah, it is, and I dig your voice, man. It's a good.
Thank
I don't
you.
know how to. I can't put my finger on it. And
It
you
makes
don't
me
sound like.
want to be a professional producer because I would love to produce that for you, for sure. I hear so many ideas in my head from years of sitting in the studio myself and coming up with ideas. I love your song. I hear different layers and years of experience talking, man, but I love the song.
Yeah.
Right.
I like the
Thank
voice.
you.
I can't place the voice. It's unique enough that you can't place it, but it sounds very familiar. If that makes any sense.
Thank you. Thank
It
you.
does.
You know what I mean? You were supposed to stop saying thank you. You're just supposed to tell us fuck off.
I am no. No, because it feels
know,
good to
I
hear you
know.
say that because
I know.
growing up, I had like a deeper voice, and most pop singers,
Oh,
and that means like
okay.
popular or rock stars, they all
Yeah.
had these high crazy voices, and I listened to like like Steve Perry of Journey,
Yeah.
like I was
Yeah.
trying to sing faithfully and stuff, and my voice was cracking because I couldn't quite reach those
That's-
tenor
yeah.
note.
That's Steve Perry, man. I
But,
don't
so-
even care. Yeah, Steve Perry, man.
So I had to grow into my own and really
Yeah.
kind of like love my voice in order to like gain the confidence to be able to
Right, and see, I love that you said that too, because from a singer, it's hard, right? Because we're so hard on ourselves because we don't think we sound good.
I was just
Like,
getting
we
ready
hear
to
our-
say, when did
Right.
you actually like your voice? Like when did, or you were maybe not like it, but when did you actually feel? And I'm asking Chris. I'll ask you the same thing, Nehemiah. But he has about 30 years of singing on you. So, when was your moment where you were like, "Yeah, I feel comfortable and I am owning this character"?
Is that to me or Chris?
Chris,
I think it's the okay. I don't know if I ever. I mean, believe it or not, dude, I don't know if I ever really reached that point.
really.
Because I always, I mean, you know me well enough from I always knew somebody was better than me, but I knew that what I did, nobody could do better than me. But I always knew there were Steven Tyler's out there and Jeff Tate's out there and people like Nehemiah out there that had, I don't know. I never
But
really
here's the
got
way
to the
I
point.
look at what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Okay.
Those are different. That's why music
Yes.
is beautiful, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
make Jeff Tate better. We weren't
No.
trying to be Queensryche.
No.
Nehemiah's not trying to be Journey, right? He
No.
got smart quick. We got smart quick too. We knew our limitations, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
are this. That's what Nehemiah just said. I am this. I figured out who I am.
Yeah.
So are you
But
comfortable with your voice yet, Nehemiah?
That's to you, Nehemiah.
Definitely, and I think I'm beyond excited to see where my voice takes me. Obviously, like I'm still growing, my voice is still maturing. So what my voice sounds like, now is going to be different in 10 years. Hopefully, stronger and wider range of things like that. But yeah, like I said, going through puberty and your voice dropping and all that stuff, it did come with those, well, why can I do this or why can I do that? But I think I love the emotion that I think my voice holds. Not to toot my own horn, but I think that just when I'm singing, it's like I can, like I've heard people say, oh, I can really feel it, even when I'm just singing, like not doing all this crazy stuff. So
I can totally relate to that mindset as a guitar player. Right when I was 15 to 35, I was winging it, man. So whenever anybody would give me a compliment, it was like, on the inside, I'm thinking, phew, they don't know I really can't play. I flipped that switch maybe 5 years ago where now I'm in command of what I'm writing, right? And I wish I would have been there when I was 25, but we were having a blast and we wrote great songs and I'm proud of those songs. There's some of those are still hard for me to play now, but it's fun to hear you say that you know where you're at and where you're going, right? There's no ego there. There's confidence at the level you're at with the understanding that you want to get so much better.
Yeah, right. That's cool.
It is cool, man.
Yeah. Because I never really got to the point where I was like, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know me well enough. I walked on stage, I owned that shit, but
that's why I'm asking, because I would have never known that you had any kind of insecurity with what you were doing.
Yeah. It's humility, man. Want to paint it black?
I see a line of cars and they're all painted black, with flowers and my love hope never to come back. I've seen people turn their heads and quickly look away. Like a newborn baby, it just happens every day. I look inside myself and see my heart is black. I see my red door, I must have it painted black. Maybe then I'll fade away and not have to face the fact. It's not easy facing up when your whole world is black. No more will my green seagull turn a deeper blue. I could not foresee this thing happening to you. If I look hard enough into the setting sun, my love will laugh with me before the morning comes. I see a red door and I want to paint it black.
Again, very cool, man. Like it.
Yeah,
anytime you can take any
good understanding of melody for sure, man.
Yeah, anytime you can take a song that's like that, I mean, it's it's an iconic song,
right?
And make it your own, but still stay true to the foundation of it. It's cool because you put your own dynamic on it without really completely changing. Now there's bands that will go in and completely change the song when they cover it, but I think there's something to be said for giving homage to the original version of it and just making it your own with your own style of singing and
right,
how you did it. So nice job, man.
Agreed. Yeah, that one's outstanding for sure, man.
Yeah, all respect to the Rolling Stones.
Oh yeah.
I was just listening to those lyrics again, going, man, those are outstanding lyrics.
Yeah.
I could not foresee this happening to you. I love that lyric.
Yeah, no, all their
good side of the city till
what did I just do? Oh, that was Primary. My bad. Okay,
yeah, he kills this one too.
Okay.
I hitched a ride on the riverboat queen. Big wheel keep on turning. Proud Mary keep on burning. And we rolling on the river. And we rolling
rolling, rolling on the river. If you come down to the river, I bet you're gonna find some people who live, and you don't have to worry if you got no money. People on the river are happy to give. Big wheel keep on turning, Proud Mary keep on burning, and we rolling, rolling, rolling on the river, and we rolling, rolling, rolling on the river, and we rolling, rolling, rolling on the river, and we're rolling, rolling, rolling on the river, and we're rolling, rolling, rolling on the river, and we're rolling, rolling, rolling. The good.
Very cool, man. Very
Roll
cool.
that one, man.
Do you get to the Tina Turner thing where you just go doot 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 doot?
I don't know. I think we tried to keep it like leveled all the way through. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool, man. I dig it. The only tune I ever covered, man, was Roadhouse Blues for the Doors. That's the only song I would sing at live that was a cover. But
Yeah.
you know, that was it. And I nailed it. You know, Mike knows that.
Oh,
That was my
Yeah.
jam.
there was a reporter there one night. There was a music magazine in Phoenix, and back then we come from the pre-internet days, brother. So we had music rags, they called them, right? So there was the
Yeah.
Music Voice, there was the New Times, there was I don't know, probably 5 of them, but those were the
Yeah.
two big ones. So that night we were playing in the Fender showcase room, Fender Musical Instruments. They moved to Scottsdale about the time that I moved to Arizona. So they wanted to have a presence there. So they would have bands come play. And the guitar that I was playing before we got on the show belonged to a friend of mine named Ray Stone. He sold it, didn't know where it ended up. It ended up with another friend. My guitar got stolen. I begged Troy to sell me this guitar, right? So I show up at work one day and Ray's like, "Where the fuck did you get that guitar?" I said, "From Troy." And he's like, "That's my guitar." And I'm like, "Not unless you got $800. And he just started laughing. He's like, "You don't understand, dude. Is that serial number blah, 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 blah?" And I was like, "How would somebody know that?" But
Right.
yeah, it was. He's like, "I bought that guitar originally, never knew where it ended up, and it ended up with a guy we worked with who I bought it from." Ray's just like, "What are the chances, right?" I still have it, Ray, if you're listening.
Hi, Ray.
Ray Stone, come on the podcast and talk about music, brother.
Right. Yeah. So we played that song, and Music Voice, they
Wrote
wrote
it
something
up.
up about it, which was cool.
They said it was the best
Very
version
cool.
outside the Doors they had ever heard, is what they said.
Yeah.
I just got a blog review on a David Bowie cover I did, which was really cool.
Oh, I
That
heard
was like my
that
first
one too, man.
press.
That was good.
Yeah,
What Bowie song?
Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a big song, man.
Who wrote you up about that one, Nehemiah?
His name was I believe it's John Magad. I'm gonna butcher his last name, but it was like John Maganori. He's been doing like a Bowie blog for like 10 years or something. So he just like hit me up. Yeah, he just hit me up. Was like, "I love the cover. I'd love to do a write up on you." And I was like, "Go for it."
No,
That was
no,
cool.
thank you.
Yeah, nah, I'm good. That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what are you doing in New York? And you know, as far as trying to find, what's your approach to find other musicians? What are you doing to kind of get those
been-
like-minded people around you?
You know, Facebook groups, going to open mics, going to, shows, and, just advertising. That's really what I've been trying to do. But like I said, it's been, rough trying to, because, especially guys my own age are like, college and work and all this stuff. So so many different commitments, especially living here in New York in such a crazy city. It's like everybody has a billion things to do. So, it's been a little slower than I would have hoped and anticipated. But we're still out here. We're still doing the thing. like me, I work a full-time job. My guitar player Alex, he's a reporter for a French news company, so he's working full-time. So
So your guitar player speaks French?
my guitar player is French.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Right on.
Guitar
Yeah.
player is French.
Now, where'd you find him? Where'd you find Alex?
Facebook, man.
Oh shit!
That is interesting. I'm glad Chris asked that question
Yeah.
because I've kind of wondered, and we've never had the opportunity to ask a young musician, how do you put a band together nowadays? We used to go to clubs, and I don't know, we went to clubs.
Yeah.
That's where I met Chris.
Yeah,
So now you guys are using the internet, obviously, which is a great
Right.
tool.
right. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm sure, I like to put my hand in every different jar, going out to open mics and all that kind of stuff. Just trying to find, good people, even if it's not to be in the band, just the network, because you never know who you're going to need down the road. So,
Absolutely. That's smart, too.
So
I used to
you-
go
you-
meet other music, like sound men, light men. That's how we got our gig at the Electric Ballroom. I knew the guy that ran sound there.
right.
So you need to be that guy. Just go to like local dive bar concerts, right? Shows,
Right.
And then just
Right.
find that fantastic band, and just approach them after the show and say, "I need you to be my drummer. I need you to be my bass player." You know, you
That's
can
not a
keep
bad
this gig all you want, but because really that's when you hear it. Because again, the way Mike and I met, Mike heard it. I didn't have to audition. Like I'm standing in a crowd of probably 2,000-3,000 people, and I'm singing along with Kevin Martin from Candlebox. So number one, he knew I could sing.
We
Number
just
two,
needed
he
to
knew I
make
didn't
sure
have
he
any-
wasn't a serial killer.
Right. Number two, he knew I could sing in front of people with no recourse, with no fear. Right. So had he not gone to that show and vice versa, we wouldn't be sitting here. So I would tell you, just go to shows, go to local dive bars. The bands that play in front of 2 people and 30 people, then 300 people as they climb up that ladder. And once you find it, once you hear it, you will know it.
That's great
Right.
advice.
And then you just walk up to them after the show. Hey man, this is who I am. This is take something of your product of your work. Listen to this. My number's on the back. Let me know if you want to jam. This is what I want to do. I want to take over the world. Do you want to come along? Because I
Yeah.
think you're going to get more. I could be completely wrong, dude, because I'm not in the music scene anymore. But
No.
I think you
what-
get more traction.
What he's
ahead, Mike.
saying, if you go back and look at the history of all, and I'm so proud that you're so young and you love all the great bands. If
Agreed.
you go look at the history of Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and the Doors, and those guys actually did exactly what Chris just said. They would have 2 members and they would go hang out at a club. They call them pubs in England, right?
Right.
They're hanging out at the pub and they would
Yep.
see John Bonham playing drums, and John Paul Jones, no, it was Robert Plant, told Jimmy Page, you have to have this guy in your band. I'm not sure if they played together. They knew each other. They were friends. He said, there's no other drummer in the world. This is the guy you need, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to find the same thing with your networking connections, but Chris is right. If you go one step further and you go see an outstanding band that has the bass player you're looking for with that groove that you know is going to work with your voice, same thing with the drummer or keyboard player. You know what you're looking for as a singer, just like he did. There was
Yeah.
a sound that Chris heard in his head that was going to work with his voice. Every singer knows that.
Right.
His
Even though I
advice
didn't really
is
know it at the
outstanding.
time. Even though I didn't really know at the time.
We were
But then I
winging it.
would give Mike a song. I would give Mike a set of lyrics, and I'd be like, "Dude, write me a song for this." I'd come back next practice, and he nailed it. Like he's the only person in my entire life of being around 4 or 5 other bandmates that could take that lyric and match it musically. And
My
it
only
fit.
gift on a guitar, thank you for saying that, is I can convey emotion. If you want
Yeah.
something to, I used to listen to some of the craziest music, and rest in peace, Scott would always come to my defense and say, you better be careful making fun of Mike because he can write riffs that'll melt your face off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because
True.
he's listening to Madonna doesn't mean that's what he plays, right? I like everything, man.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for that compliment. But that is my one gift on an instrument is I can make a guitar emotional. That was always my goal. So I'm proud of
Yeah.
that gift.
Yeah, and I think if you do how you're going to do it, but if you throw this into your arsenal of finding musicians. Because you love being on stage, right? You love feeling the energy.
Right.
You love feeding off the crowd, even if it's just an
Right.
open mic. There's still something there, right?
Exactly.
So if you're going to open mics, you're going to pick up more so singers than you are musicians themselves. But if you start going to little shows at dive bars and stuff, then you can start focusing on, like, you know, like Mike and Scott were together before I came in, and then once I came in, then we got a bass player. So
But
you
if-
got guitarists and
If you
and
think
drummer.
about it, Nehemiah, I did exactly what Chris is advising
Yeah.
you to do. I was at
Right.
that gig
Yeah.
that night for Candlebox because I wanted to see him play live. But like Chris said, had I said fuck it and just stayed home, we wouldn't even be doing this podcast because I would have never met this guy. You know, it's
Right.
crazy how the universe works, man. I love his advice.
Yep.
dude.
Yeah, and I probably never would have played in a band again because I wasn't looking for it anymore. I
That's
had
the
my little
crazy
run with
part
the
that
first
I didn't
band.
know till we
Yeah.
started this podcast. Mm-hmm. That you weren't even looking to be in a band at that time.
I was just there singing, man.
He thought he was annoying me. He's like, I thought I was
Yeah.
pissing you off.
Yeah, but I would try that, man. I would try that next couple weekends. Just go check out some bands and see if somebody just stands out. Because what are they going to tell you to do? No.
Right.
You know, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. This is where I want to go. You know, I like your sound. I like your vibe, whatever. You know.
Well,
you
the
wanna-
cool thing
you
is
wanna-
he has a product. He can say, hey,
Yeah.
man, I got 3 songs on iTunes. What
Yeah.
do you got? You know?
yeah, Mike
you're-
had a business card, dude.
That was a big deal back then, dude. That was a big deal.
Listen, I have a business card too.
Right, but you got music too, though.
Yeah.
I'm saying he turns around, business card, Desperate Angel, Mike Michaels guitar, phone number. I was like, okay. And it was funny because he said it was desperate for a singer, right? Desperate Angel. That didn't last long because then I don't know, 2 months or so later, I came to the practice. I'm like, we're gonna change our name to Nemesis. Like, what? And you know, there we are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they kept
but
fucking
I
our
just-
name up.
Yeah, but I would do that. I would try that approach and just see if you get success with that. I mean, I dig how you're doing it on Facebook, but you can't feel that emotion, right? I mean, we can feel
Right.
it sometimes when we're doing this. Some of our guests have such a really good presence, you can feel it, you know. But to truly feel the presence of a musician, I think you got to be in that room with them. You got to see how they're
100%.
playing off the crowd, and you know, and how they're feeding
Yeah.
off the music, and how they're portraying that music to the crowd, you know. And again, whether it's 2 people or 2,000 people, you still, that to me is more indicative of the artist. If they're standing there in front of just the wait staff, you know, and a couple of friends and family members playing like it's an arena rock show
Right.
versus in front of 2,000 people and playing like it's an arena rock show. If you're doing the same, Andrew Wood was brilliant with that. Mother Love Bone, don't know if you've ever heard of him. Mother Love Bone is kind of the door that opened up Seattle, along with Mudhoney and some of those younger, earlier bands in the Seattle grunge sound. But everybody in Mother Love Bone was the original backing of Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam. But Andrew Wood, he had the mindset no matter what he played in front of, it was the last show he's ever going to play. And he was going to treat it like that. So he treated it like it was an arena rock show every single night. It didn't matter if they were playing to a janitor or playing to a packed house.
That's how we
Yeah.
played.
Right. So when you do that as a band, which when you get your band together, you're going to feel that. You can feel that energy, and you can feel the rawness of it. So keep doing what you're doing. You do whatever you want to do. I just think this would be a good thing to add to your arsenal. Go look at
Oh,
some live
definitely.
acts and just
Definitely.
see if you can find somebody that just blows your socks off. Because if he blows your socks off, what do you think is going to add to your music?
And
Because
you
we
got-
brought Rick in, the bass player, it changed the dynamic of our songs like you wouldn't believe. It blew my mind. Like
The other
Scott,
thing you
Rick,
got to
and I.
remember is
yeah.
you have to exist with these people. You know,
Yeah.
you want to do this professionally. We were
Right.
a family, man. These people are going to be. You're going to spend more time with them than you do your family, right? So they are your family.
Right.
You got to like these people. So I tend to agree with him again. You want to feel that energy, right? I knew who he was right away. I knew he could
Right.
sing. I knew he wasn't an asshole. All we had to do is have like 3 beers together. It's like, let's go jam, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
You feel that. So that's kind of what he's saying to you is you can get a little bit of a feel for somebody online, but until you're standing in front of them and you're talking to them, I think part of the reason we can feel it here is we're having a real genuine conversation, right? We didn't know you from Adam an hour ago, but now 45 minutes into it, I feel like I kind of know who you are. You can feel a little bit of that. You don't get that with seeing someone play music on the internet. I agree with
No.
you 1,000,000%.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It's
the
only
real
going to
whole
make your music stronger.
right. The whole
Right,
reason
I
that-
agree.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal to make great records and just blow people's socks off. So
Right.
that's what I want Exotic Vision to be. I want it to be something that, you know, has that essence of like old rock and roll, but you know, with the modern original voice, where it's like rooted in emotion, but also, you know, you can party too. So
Yeah.
And
I love-
if you want a great example of what he just described to you, if you have never heard Mother Love Bone, go listen to Star Dog
Yeah.
Champion when you get
Yeah.
off here. Just type in Star Dog Champion, Mother Love Bone, and you recreate that emotion that he
Yep.
put into that song, and you'll be a superstar.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Gotcha.
You
Gotcha.
feel it.
Yeah.
He captured that emotion and that feeling on a record, because every
Yep.
time I hear that, there is no volume loud enough for that song. There just isn't.
Huh.
Nope. And there they are on the screen. That's Mother Love Bone. The other thing, I don't know, because again, we just met you. Once you get the band together, I would champion you and the band to go play 100 shows before you lay any tracks down. Everything changes when you play it live. Everything.
Right.
With Nemesis, we played live and practiced, I don't even, thousands and
of
thousands of hours before we went to Mike's apartment, and I went into the bathroom and we shut the door and I laid down vocals to music. It changes everything. The last band I was in, we didn't play out live because they just didn't. So all the tracks that were laid down, there was no live sessions behind it. And I just,
Right.
the end product to me would have been so much better had we been playing them live for a year before recording. Because as a vocalist, which you know, when you're on stage, everything's faster. The timing's going to be a little bit different. Your energy's going to be different. You're going to go into these pockets where you want to improv through a song that you don't necessarily think of doing when you're sitting in a jam session with the band or sitting in the studio. And
Right.
it changes the dynamic. It changes the trajectory. You can create these cool little interweavings and workings of different stuff within these songs and have, just nuances that would never have been there had you not been doing it live and playing it in front of a crowd.
Yeah, I can remember 100 times where I would look over at him like, "Whoa, where are we going now?" Because the song
Right.
was I never played the song the same way twice, so why would I expect him? That was
Right.
one rule we had, is there's going to be a lot of improv in this shit. We're going to record it one way, but when we're on stage, he's describing it exactly the way we played. We went with the flow every night. Sometimes there was an extra measure in shit,
Right.
Sometimes his melody would extend a minute longer than it normally would just because he was in the zone. It's like,
Right.
he's there. We're going to go with him.
Right.
And
Erica
that's it.
Badu would always say, being in the studio is trying to perfect something, and then being on stage is trying to just create a moment. And I totally agree, because music, it moves you differently.
I call
So-
the studio controlled chaos, right? You're trying to capture Chris just described it. You're trying to capture a live, especially, I'm talking rock and roll, pop and classical. That's all different recording, right? But a
Right.
rock and roll band wants their record, if they're smart, to sound like they do on stage as much as possible, right? So that's why he's saying, if you haven't played that song 100 times in front of people, it's never going to record the same way. I agree
Right.
with that so much, because he's experienced both sides of it. I've experienced both sides of it. The last band I was in, we tried to create a band in the studio, and let me tell you, that doesn't work. It's too sterile, man. You
Yeah.
never develop that relationship that him and I did, with him having a pad of paper and a pen, and me laying on the couch jamming through my practice amp, just playing until he would go, "Hey, what's that?" Do that again.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many times
So
do you
you
want
pro-
me to do it?
Right. So you've probably heard of Chris Cornell, right?
Yes.
Soundgarden. Okay. So Chris Cornell and Andrew Wood were roommates. Okay, from Mother Love Bone. They used to have songwriting contests where they would challenge each other to write a new song. They would go into their bedroom and shut their doors. They had all their little four track recorders and shit. They would go lay down. They would record their song and then come out the next day or 2 days later, and they would play each other their songs, and they would critique. What's the word? Critique their songs, and then they would go back and make them better.
Right.
And then Mike found, I didn't know this, but the singer for Candlebox actually was roommate with Andrew Wood too. So I can kind of assume that they probably did the same shit because Andrew Wood lived and breathed the music. That's all he did. The dumbass that he was, he got hooked on heroin, which is why he's no longer here. But had he not, the trajectory of his life would have just been stratosphere. So constantly moving, constantly working, constantly trying to change the song and make it that much better, that much better. So when you listen to Mother Love Bone, it's the only thing they ever laid down. Those songs are the only songs they ever laid down, but it stands the test of time. Like legit, you're going to love it just because it's pure rock and roll with an arena rock vibe when arena rock vibe wasn't a thing yet. And grunge wasn't really a thing yet. It's good. I think you'll dig it.
They were literally creating the blueprint for what we call grunge nowadays. Like he said, there just wasn't a word for it. There wasn't music. I had a friend that went out to Washington State, and they brought back Louder Than Love by Soundgarden in 1986. And it changed my world, man. But nobody had heard that sound yet. And if you listen to that album, it's really not grunge anyway. It's somewhere between, like Chris said, arena rock and this new kind of sound, right? But there was enough of that new kind of sound. If you listen to the song Louder Than Love, that riff is just outstanding.
Yeah.
It sucks you right in. But all of a sudden, here comes Pearl Jam. But we didn't know that they were the remnants of Mother Love Bone until later. Chris taught me that when I joined Nemesis in 1990, or when he joined in 1993 or 4.
Yeah.
Like he was so into this band. I'm like, I got to know who they are and what they're about. He's like, they're basically Pearl Jam without this guy that died, right?
It's like Alter Bridge is Creed without Scott Stapp.
Correct.
You replace Miles Kennedy. You have a whole different band, a whole different, but same musicians, same foundation, but it's a whole different trajectory,
As soon
different
as you put
following.
that voice, that
Yeah,
different voice,
and your
up
voice,
there,
your voice needs this type of musician behind it. So I mean, I dig how you're doing it. I just think throw that in the arsenal and let us know how that goes. Because I think if you find people that wow you, then you're gonna wow them, and that's gonna change the
I
dynamic
agree,
of what
man.
you're doing,
I
man.
can't
Right.
wait to hear you with what he's describing. This badass. I would love to. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because I would like to be on the I'm behind Nehemiah train, just like I was behind Chris. There's something about knowing, and I knew I'm walking onto stage with a murderer. This guy is gonna slay people, whether he knows it or not. And he had no ego. It wasn't, here's how we're gonna do things. We were all for one and one for all. We were a fucking band, man.
Absolutely.
But I knew in my mind, no matter who is on that bill with us, I have a murderer walking on stage. I'm gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Right.
And we were every night. We just kept getting
Yeah.
better gigs and opening for national acts. And it's like, then Metal Blade came calling, and now a record label wants you, and you're like, wow, man, I achieved my dream. There's no bragging, there's no ego. It's just me being a musician and saying, I did what I set out to do. I left this cornfield. I moved 2,000 miles away. I started a band. Now we're signing a record deal. It's outstanding.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
It is, man.
So-
I'm excited
so-
for you.
Yeah. So if people want to find Nehemiah, how do they find you, man?
You can find me on all the social media platforms: TikTok,
Okay.
Instagram, YouTube, Triple L Nehemiah, Triple L. I constantly posting reels, updates about things, of like my live gigs and stuff. Right now, we're doing mostly acoustic stuff.
Okay.
We might do some like busking here in New York, try to expand our reach a little bit more. But really, we're just looking for a couple guys that want to create a kick-ass rock and roll band, and get a record deal so that way we can explode our music to the world.
Yeah. That's awesome. What when you're doing your shows acoustically, how long are the sets typically?
45 minutes usually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. And I'm assuming it's a mix of originals and covers.
Yeah.
Cool. How many originals do you have right now?
Right now, I left my heart in Minnesota, and then we're working on a few more that we're going to start introducing, and we want to get some recorded for 2027.
Cool. Right
So-
on, man. So Triple L Nehemiah, Triple L on all the social media platforms. So that's how you find this man. Check him out. You can also go on oh my gosh, Apple Music, Spotify, What other platforms can you buy music, Mike? Because I just go to Apple.
Those are the two big ones.
Those are the two big ones.
Yeah,
Are you on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon too.
Okay, and same concept. I Left My Heart in Minnesota is going to pull you up.
Yep.
Right, and there's 3 songs on that thing, so I challenge you all, buy the whole thing, just don't
Go
buy one
support
song
him.
because
He's got a
yeah.
great voice. He's
Yes.
gonna go far.
I always buy the album, man. That's why I asked you if you had an EP. I just don't buy one song. I buy the whole
Right.
thing. Even if I don't like the whole thing, I still buy the whole thing. Sometimes I'm disappointed because you'll buy this whole. I like, my wife loves Luke Bryan, right? So I bought his 2 albums because on each album has one of her favorite songs. The rest of the songs on his album suck. It's like he's one song on both albums are good.
That's the whole
it's
idea.
like,
They
dude,
just suck people.
right? That's what sucks, man. So you still have to buy the whole album because you have to support the artist because they are going out there on a ledge and saying, "This is me. This is me. I'm being vulnerable. Buy my music. Support me. Let me entertain you, man, because that's what it's all about." You're phenomenal, man. So I want you to come back with us once you get your band together and once you've done some shows
sure,
and
man.
stuff, and once you get to the point where you're gonna record a full length album or full length EP. EP is 8 songs, right?
It's
For the most
usually
part.
5.
5, okay. Yeah, when you get to the point where you're gonna record again, you got a band, definitely come back on. Let's get the band on. We've had entire bands on before, Nehemiah. It's been pretty cool because
Cool.
this whole screen is filled with musicians. It's quite
It
epic.
gets crazy. It's fun.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
I was.
Go ahead.
I'd love to do that. So
Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
Anytime
We'd
you
welcome
have
it.
any news that you want to promote, man, you don't have to wait for your whole band. But I agree with Chris. If you get to that point before you have news, but if you have things that you want to talk about, you come back anytime, man. This
Yeah.
has been awesome.
I
Yeah.
will. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. You got my number now, and we got your email. So don't be shy, man. Reach out. Again, it's Triple L Nehemiah, Triple L on all the social media platforms. You can find him on Spotify and Apple Music. Just type in on those 2 platforms. I Left My Heart in Minnesota. You'll find his 3-song EP, which is I Left My Heart in Minnesota, Proud Mary, and Paint It Black. 2 covers on there that are pretty badass. We listened to him earlier on the show. So check him out, do him a solid, help support his career. He's going to climb to the charts, and one day he's going to, he's going to get a Grammy, and he's going to reference the Chris and Mike show. It all started on the Chris and Mike show. And we'd be like, hey, man.
We'll be happy to say, yeah, we were there.
Right, now, unfortunately, if you're feeling depressed and suicidal, which I don't know how you could be, because we're talking to Nehemiah here, who's, he's going to take over the world. I mean, that's nothing more positive than that. But go journal, go scream in a pillow, go run outside, go find somebody to talk to. If you cannot find somebody to talk to, there's a website called sunflowersober.com. It's absolutely free. It has all kinds of resources for you to kind of change your mindset and get the help you need. If you're not feeling that, you can go to Apple and Google Play, Zobi, Z-O-B-I with a space AI. It's a really cool AI-centric therapist, but it's going to help work you through your problems, things like that. A friend of ours, Eric Zink, developed that app. So he's somebody who's huge in the recovery world. So it's worth your while to do that. Tomorrow's a better day with you waking up in it. So don't leave a hole in somebody else's heart because you chose not to. For the Chris and Mike show, I'm Chris. He's Mike. This is Nehemiah Bailey. Again, Triple L Nehemiah, Triple L on all the social media platforms. Go check him out, follow him, find his music, show him some love. And until next time, we'll see you later. Peace.
Thanks again, Nehemiah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
Love you guys too. I'll see you guys soon.
Don't
Don't leave yet.
Don't sign off. Hold on.